Hello, folks. This is the old-timer Ross Fleming of Fleming Recordings, Nelson, producer of the homespun radio series Tales of the Kootenays, broadcast cooperatively with Nelson, CKLN, Trail, CJAT, and Cranbrook, CKEK. Our program today takes the form of a salute to Nakusp, BC. On March the 13th, the Trail Times carried the headlines, Nakusp's Day at Festival, stating that it was Nakusp Day Saturday afternoon in the annual Kootenay Music Festival, with various classes in spoken poetry held. We have pleasure in paying this tribute to a small centre, this being their first experience in a festival. We will begin with the spoken poetry class for girls under 8. Kathleen Kirk of Nakusp won first place with 88 marks, reciting Crocuses by Anna M. Platt.
Crocuses by Anna M. Platt. A kind voice calls, "Come, little ones, 'tis time to wake from sleeping." And out of bed, without a word, the drowsy folk came creeping. And soon, above the chilly earth, their tiny heads are peeping. They bravely face the wind of March, its bite and bluster scorning, like little soldiers till, oh joy, with scarce a word of warning, the crocuses slip off their caps and give us a gay good morning.
That was Kathleen Kirk of Nakusp. Betta Major of Nakusp captured second place with 86 marks, and Marcy Twiss of Nakusp gained third place with 85 marks. Adjudicator Parker said that all 12 girls in the class showed good training. They were good learners and had shown a feeling for the spirit of the poem. In the spoken poetry class for boys under 8, Brett Gordon of Nakusp won first place with 89 marks, reciting Sold, author unknown.
Sold, author unknown. You can't buy loyalty, they say. I bought it though the other day. You can't buy friendship, tried and true. Well, just the same, I bought that too. I made my bid and on the spot bought love and faith and a whole job lot of happiness. So, all in all, the purchase price was very small. I bought a simple, trusting heart that gave devotion from the start. If you think these things are not for sale, buy a brown-eyed pup with a wagging tail.
That was Brett Gordon of Nakusp. Larry Sir of Nakusp tied for third place with 87 marks. Adjudicator Parker said of the 7 boys that competed in this class that their performances were a delight indeed. They had shown the good training they had received. And now we have the Nakusp Junior School Choir, grades 1 to 3, which won first place with high marks of 85 and 85. They sang A, The Fairy Shoe Shop by Stewart Young, and B, Drummer Curly, arranged by Moffet. Adjudicator Bly said that they sang well and told the story effectively.
Shoes of rainbow red, and
That was the Nakusp Junior Choir, grades 1 to 3. And now for our old-timer interview today, we will include a discussion we had with our 88-year-old pioneer of the Arrow Lakes, Mrs. William Williams of Edgewood, BC, and her husband. In this portion of our interview, we discussed the laxity of present-day parents to take a very necessary interest in the doings of the younger generation. I hope the letting off of steam does not cloud your eyes.
Well, you know, Mr. Fleming, I feel sorry for the young people today.
Yes, I do too.
They haven't the opportunities.
No, they haven't the opportunities. They haven't the down-to-earth experiences.
No.
That,
you know, and I think the parents are an awful lot to blame. They've made it too easy and soft for them.
Yes, you know, that's true in a way, although in some ways I just wonder. You know, of course, I'm very interested in the musical festival.
Yes.
And I've just come from the Trail Musical Festival. And really the attendance at these festivals, both in Nelson and in Trail, has, as I said in my broadcast last Sunday, they're deplorable. It seems to me that the parents of these children are not taking enough interest in what their children are doing.
That's as true as you say.
Very true.
To not attend to these things. Now, as far as my wife and I are concerned, if any of our children were doing anything, whether it was in sport or music, you couldn't keep us away from a performance with an army of shotguns.
Yes.
But nowadays, I don't know what the parents are doing, whether they're home listening to TV or out gadding around themselves, but they're not there listening to their children.
No.
And they should be the nucleus of a good-sized audience.
Oh, yes.
And it would be a shame if we lose the benefits of a festival through the lack of patronage.
Yes.
Because these men who are putting on the festival, and women, they take a lot of time in doing this work, and if it's not supported by the attendance of the people, of the audience, well, you can't expect them to dig down their own pocket and do it.
No.
I have heard some of them express the idea that if they could raise the money any other way, they would continue it. But even that is not fair.
No.
There's no reason why it shouldn't support itself. And I think that the people should be ashamed of themselves that they're not supporting something that does so much good for the children as a musical festival.
Yes, oh yes, it's wonderful.
You don't find children that are busy with music or with some of the arts or with sport, that you don't find them in the police courts.
No.
And very few occasions, and I don't remember of any. And for instance, scouting or anything like that, it keeps the boys and girls too busy.
Yes.
To be getting into mischief.
Yes.
And they're taught good things.
Yes.
And why the public, even if they're not parents, shouldn't support those things is beyond me. I cannot understand it.
It's just laziness. Absolutely.
I think it is laziness and not
and carelessness.
Absolutely, I think it's carelessness more than anything, indifference to what they should be, what interests they should have.
Well, I'll tell you, Mr. Fleming, my idea is that everything is going so fast.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that
Yes.
they think they haven't got the time.
Yes.
And they devote it to something else.
Well,
Instead of devoting it to the things where it's absolutely necessary,
Yeah.
I consider it absolutely necessary for these people to attend these
Well,
things,
sure.
where their
fair
own
to the
children are
youngsters that they
concerned.
don't, because the youngsters will say, well, Mother and Dad wasn't here last night to see how I carried on. Well, It's no encouragement for the youngsters.
You're absolutely right.
No.
It doesn't repay them for
No,
the work
sir,
that they
not-
do,
not one bit it
and they
doesn't.
quite often have to sacrifice their playtime
Certainly.
to spend their time on studying and practicing and so on like that, and they should not go unrewarded.
Oh, gosh, certainly not.
But there is one thing, I think, Mr. Fleming, that the children themselves, now this class that went down there,
Mhm.
I think that they are so proud of it
Mm-hmm.
that it will make them persevere and try harder
Yes.
all the time. I think they're very proud.
Of course, I think in a place like Nakusp, people are so close to one another, and that they would take a great deal of pride and interest in
Yes.
the doings of their children
Yes.
than what they would in the bigger places
yes.
like Nelson
Oh, yes,
or
I
Trail
think so.
or Rossland.
They should do anyway,
Yes.
because they're closer in contact
Well,
somehow.
Nakusp seems to have enjoyed the fruits of the festival anyway.
Oh, yes, I'll say. Oh, I've heard several people speak about it.
Mhm.
People that come in, you know,
Yeah.
say how lucky and how fortunate they were, and how fortunate they were in having your wife.
Well, that is.
Yes,
Very
because
nice.
she certainly has done a wonderful piece of business.
Well, of
no
course,
doubt about it.
she started out with her own family, and she's always been mixed up with the festival. And of course, after our children are beyond festival years, well, she has her eye on her grandchildren, but they're not quite old enough yet. But she is always wherever she's been teaching, which was at Terry's for 15 years. Why she had them always in the festival, choirs and individuals, and they did very well there too.
Yes.
And so of course that's her enjoyment. She enjoys the work,
Yes.
and she does it on her own time. There's no school time used in the work at
No.
all. So it's just like somebody having a hobby,
Yes.
and she rides it.
Yes. Well, that's the idea. If you go in, that's what I always say. The things I liked, I was all built up on them.
Mhm.
And I think that's why I've always been so happy.
Yes. Well, you can take a lot of
You know,
happiness.
because I would devote my time and thoughts to that sort of thing.
Mhm.
The little trivial things of a neighborhood didn't bother me very much, you
Mhm.
know.
Mhm.
And I think that's a far happier way to live.
Oh yes, sure.
Yes.
Well, we've had quite a sermon here, haven't we? So,
Lovely.
so
Very nice.
I think we'll call it a day, and thanks again for.
Oh, don't mention
your
it,
kindness.
I'm sure. We're very pleased to have you, and we hope you'll see you again, too.
Well, we'll try and look you up another time we're in, and we will appreciate our acquaintance with you.
I'm very glad indeed to have you. I'll be so glad to tell Florence all about it.
Well, thanks very much. Well.
That was part of our interview with Mr. and Mrs. William Williams of Edgewood, BC. I hope you found some truth in the discussion. Now back to the Kootenay Musical Festival, where again the Nakusp children placed first, second, and third, this time in the spoken poetry class, girls under 10. Vicki Pritchard of Nakusp won first place with 90 marks when she recited Children by Clara Writer.
A little seed lay fast asleep beneath the earth's brown sod, but woke to life and hope when came the wondrous touch of God. A sunbeam kissed the hidden spot and warmed its earthy bed. The rain and dew gave kindly drink, till soon it raised its head. Up, up it pressed its way above, up till a light was seen. Then came the sun, and decked it all in dainty garb of green. It grew so straight and tall and fair, each day it would unfold. The smiling sun placed on its head a shining crown of gold. At last it stood with thousands more, a golden ear of corn, God's gift to man, our daily food, from little seedlings born. So, children are the seeds God plants within his garden fair. He loves and guards them every day. They have his constant care, and they may grow so straight and pure, so good and full of grace. A crown of gold is theirs when they shall see the Savior's face.
That was Vicki Pritchard of Nakusp. In the same class, Patricia Sadd and Nancy Santana, both of Nakusp, placed second and third with 89 and 88 marks respectively. Adjudicator Parker commented that this class left the audience feeling that they were truly flowers in the garden of God. In the class for spoken poetry, girls under 12, 2 Nakusp girls won placings. Donna Butt and Carol Folkol, both of Nakusp, received 88 marks when they tied for third place in the class for spoken poetry, girls under 12, reciting Winter by Walter de la Mare. Though we usually play only the first place winners, we thought you should hear the test pieces, as this is Nakusp Day. Here is Donna.
Green mistletoe! Oh, I remember now a dell of snow, frost on the bough, none there but I. Snow, snow, and a wintry sky, none there but I, and footprints one by one zigzaggedly where I had run, were shrill and powdery. A robin sat in the tree, and he whistled sweet, and I in the crusted snow with snow-clubbed feet jigged to and fro, till from the day the rose light ebbed away, and the robin flew into the air the white mist threw, and small and rare the night frost fell into the calm and misty dell, and the dusk gathered low, and the silver moon and stars on the frozen snow drew taper bars, kindled winking fires in the hooded briars, and the sprawling bear growled deep in the sky, and Orion's hair streamed sparkling by, but the north sighed low. Snow, snow, more snow.
That was Donna Butt. Now, here is Carol.
Winter by Walter de la Mare. Green mistletoe. Oh, I remember now. A dell of snow, frost on the bough, none there but I. Snow, snow, and a wintry sky, none there but I, and footprints one by one zigzaggedly where I had run, where shrill and powdery a robin sat in the tree, and he whistled sweet, and I in the crusted snow with snow-clubbed feet jigged to and fro, till from the day the rose light ebbed away, and the robin flew into the air the white mist threw, and small and rare the night frost fell into the calm and misty dell, and the dusk gathered low, the silver moon and stars on the frozen snow drew taper bars, kindled winking fires in the hooded briars, and the sprawling bear growled deep in the sky, and Orion's hair streamed sparkling by, but the north sighed low. Snow, snow, more snow.
That was Carol Folkol of Nakusp. Again in the spoken poetry class, girls under 13, a Nakusp girl won third place in distinguished company. Dianne Davies of Nakusp, reciting Sunrise by Edgar A. Ghast, received 88 marks. Adjudicator Parker's comment was that all 6 girls had shown keen thinking, good control, and nice diction, all of which had shown each had enjoyed doing it.
Sunrise by Edgar A. Ghast. Today I saw the sun come up, like Neptune from the sea. I saw him light a cliff with gold and wake a distant tree. I saw him shake his shaggy head and laugh the night away, and toss unto a sleeping world another golden day. The waves, which had been black and cold, came in with silver crests. I saw the sunbeams gently wake the songbirds in their nests. The slow retreating night slipped back, and strewn on field and lawn, on every blade of grass, I saw the jewels of the dawn. Never was monarch ushered in with such a cavalcade. No hero bringing victory home has seen such wealth displayed. In honor of the coming day, the humblest plantain trees throng the curved stone of the world in radiant livery.
Next, it is the boys' turn. Gary Bone of Nakusp kept the Nakusp flag flying when he won 3rd place in the class for spoken poetry, boys under 12. Adjudicator Mrs. Parker remarked that this was another honor class, and justly won. The 7 boys competing had indeed caught the feeling of the poem and had shown the results of the training they had received. Here is Gary Bone reciting A Summer Storm by D.C. Scott.
Summer Storm by D.C. Scott. Last night a storm fell on the world from height of drouth and heat. The surly clouds for weeks were furled. The air could only sway and beat. The beetles clattered at the blind. The hawks fell twanging from the sky. The west unrolled a feathery wind, and the night fell solemnly. The storm leaped roaring from its lair like the shadow of doom. The pointer lightning searched the air. The thunder ripped the shattered gloom. The rain came down with a roar like fire, full voice and clamorous and deep. The weary world had its heart's desire and fell asleep.
That was Gary Bone of Nakusp. And now we come to a very important class, the choral speaking group, elementary school age. The Nakusp choral group gained 90 marks when they won 1st place and was described as being outstanding in their performance. On congratulating the conductor, Adjudicator Parker said that the Nakusp students were indeed fortunate to have an instructor of her caliber. The test piece was Swift Things Are Beautiful by Elizabeth Coatsworth.
Swift things are beautiful, swallows and deer, and lightning that falls bright, veined and clear, rivers and meteors, wind in the wheat, the strong withered horse, the runner's sure feet, and slow things are beautiful, the closing of days, the pause of the wave that curves downward to spray, the ember that crumbles, the opening flower, and the ox that moves on in the quiet of power.
That was the Nakusp choral group of the Nakusp Elementary School. Before concluding our tribute to Nakusp, it is worthy of note that 12 other Nakusp children, besides those named above, received 85 marks or over, an excellent record. Even if a student does not place in the first 3, it is still gratifying to receive such high marks, as was done this year. Really, the marks are the most important. And so we have come to the end of our salute to Nakusp, BC. Hearty congratulations, boys and girls of Nakusp. Listen again next week, same time, same place on your dial, for the beginning of Trails History in tribute to Trail's Diamond Jubilee, together with more Kootenay Music Festival performances, which Fleming recordings can reproduce on phonograph records. This is Ross Fleming saying thank you for listening, and so long, partners.